Hello, my name is Terry. I am a full-time eBay seller and I live in Oregon, right outside of Portland. And today's video is going to be what I have found this past weekend. Today is Monday. At the estate sales I went to, I did go to estate sales on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, probably at least 2 of them per day. And I just wanted to share with you what my space looks like after a weekend full of estate sales. I just kind of drop it wherever in my space without organizing, knowing I'm going to do it Monday, which is today. So this is what it looks like. This is my space that's usually nice and cleared out. And this is the hot mess when I just throw everything in here without organizing it. I better get busy getting this organized, and I will show you what I have purchased this weekend and what I'm potentially going to list it at. I kind of got my things organized. I'm going to show you the first group because I did purchase a lot of stuff this weekend, which I'm very happy about. So we have E.T. 1982 Lunchbox. And it has the thermos with it. It's a little bit rough, but not too bad. The outside looks good. The inside has a little bit of scratches in it. This has a little straw in it. Thermos is 1982 as well. Kind of cool graphics on it. Definitely looks old. This one I purchased at a garage sale that I definitely was not expecting to go to. The very first estate sale I went to on Friday, I was waiting in my car to get into the sale, and the neighbor right next door opened up their garage and put out a garage sale sign. So I went over there and picked up a few things, and this was one of them for $5. And I will probably sell this in the range of probably $50 to $75. I picked up these VHS tapes. They're new, they're sealed, they've never been opened. I pretty much just picked them up for myself. You know how I like electronics, and I like to group together things like this and the cables, so I will pick up cables as well. For grouping together when I sell VHS players, it just makes the sets look more complete. So I paid $1 each for these. All right, these camcorder little cassettes, I paid $1 each for, and I will group these in the group of 4 and probably sell them for $20. And these I will group in a group of 3 and sell these for $15. And I paid $1 each for them. Okay, I purchased this cleaver for $8. It is a Messer Miser. It's a 12-inch cleaver. $8 for this, and I will probably list it between $40 and $60. These I absolutely love to find. This Magnavox little Walkman type player, brand new, never opened. I just sold one of these, if you saw my last video, for $55 plus shipping, and it was not new in package. It did have a headset with it, and it was in really good condition, but for collectors, these that are brand new in package are definitely what they were looking for. So this one is a D6643, and the one that I sold was a 6628. I'm probably gonna list this for $100. And as you can see, I paid $10 for this. So I'm really excited about this. And for my next one, a Sony Walkman. So this was at the same sale. And this is after I had looked around the house for probably a half an hour or so, and there were so many people there, and so they passed both of these items up. So this one again is brand new in package. $28 is what I paid for it. The used sold comps are between 40 and 50, but some older comps for new ones were going between $150 to $200. So these, I would have to say, are one of my favorite things to pick up. I love Walkmans, so look out for those. Same sale. This is after I had been at the sale for even longer, and so many people had gone through the it was like a workshop out back, and I went out there to try to pick up some fishing lures. It looks like there was probably a couple hundred of them out there, and it looks like somebody just scooped them all up and got them all because they were all new in package and vintage. So I was just kind of moseying around looking at, you know, different things, and I spotted out of the corner of my eye Sony. It was like tucked way up on the shelf. It wasn't even priced. I had to ask them for a price. But before I asked them for a price, I did a quick look up, and the comps on a sold one of these was $649. So I snatched this up really quick. This has never been open. This is a studio monitor for digital headset. So there was the original price on it. I think these are probably from the 80s or 90s, but the original price said $99. So that's how they came up with the 30. So I think there is one for sale just like this. They're asking over $700. So I think I'm gonna start an auction around $600 on these and see what happens. I'll probably run a 10-day auction instead of 7, what I typically do, just so that I can get as many people looking at it as possible. 7 days sometimes is a little bit too short. They are new. However, I did notice that there's some cracking just because they're old in the cushioning, but I think I did see on eBay that you can buy those brand new. I will make sure that they're the right ones that will fit, and I will purchase those and add them to this lot so that they will have brand new cushions to them. And I think they were only between like $8 and $12 to buy a new set of the cushioning. So that'll be nice for the person who purchases it. Okay, so at that same sale that I got the Sony Walkmans at, I purchased this. I have to show you, it's a little too heavy to pick up. This Craftsman bench grinder. It had never been open. I actually took the big staples out. They had big brass staples on them, just so I can open it up just to make sure that everything was okay. So this is brand new in box grinder, and I couldn't find this exact one. Any comps on it. I did pay $40 for this, but I think I saw a similar one was selling between $150 to $200. So I'm gonna give it a try and list it at that price and see what happens. I purchased this Sony video cassette recorder. Everything in there, if it was $50 or less, was half off, and this was $65. So I was willing to pay the $65 after I looked at the comps on this. The comps were between $200 and $350, and that's of course if it was working. So I did ask if it was indeed going to be $65, and they actually said they would sell it to me for $40. And I figured if it wasn't working properly, that there were some selling for parts, and they had it in their listing that they just weren't sure if it was working or not. And they sold theirs, I think it was for $110. So I knew I could at least get $110. Well, I did plug it in while I was there, and it did power on. And so I came home and put a tape in it, and it's not going around. I can hear the motor going. So I'm either gonna sell it for $100 for parts, or I'm going to tinker with it a little bit. As you know, I like to do that, and see if I can't fix it. Maybe it is just a belt in it. So I'm gonna open it up and see if I can figure out what's wrong with it. So if I can get it fixed, then I can sell it between $300 and $350. This is a candle. It is called Diptyque. I'm probably saying it wrong. It has never been open. I paid $2 for it. I was at a sale and This was in the kitchen, just cluttered with a bunch of stuff. I scanned the bottom because it does have a barcode on it, and the unsold comps were coming up around $95. I think there were 3 or 4 of them listed right around that range. And then the sold comps on them, it smells really good. The sold comps on them, I think I saw 1 or 2 for right around $60. This was a great pickup. I had no idea a candle like this could be so valuable. $2, and I'm gonna sell it for 60 or so. That's pretty good. I have this cute little dog. This is a dog that I bought at the garage sale while I was waiting for the estate sale, the same one where I got the ET Lunchbox. And so I paid $1 for this little guy, and I think I saw another comp on him. He's selling between $20 and $25. I also picked up at that garage sale these 3 little dachshunds. They're so cute. There's no maker's mark on the bottom or anything, so I'm just gonna sell them as a group like this, probably for maybe $15. This Burl picture frame I paid $5 for, and I saw a sold comp on one very similar. I mean, it had the same bottom platform. It obviously wouldn't be exactly the same because all the pieces of wood are a little bit different, but it sold for $55. So that's probably about what I'll list this for. This is a Radio Shack 6-volt adapter that I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it or sell it. They're not as easy to come by. It seems like they're usually 9, 12 and up volt. So you don't want to go plugging something that's supposed to have a 6-volt to test it, you know, with a 9 or a 12. You could ruin your item. So I don't know, I think I might just keep it. Got this Dr. Seuss book for $2. It's not one of the ones that people are going bananas over, but it does look brand new, or pretty close to new. The pages don't look like they've ever been opened very far, so it makes me think that it was never read. And I think this one's selling between $15 and $20. I bought a set of 6 Cutco steak knives, and they were $45. And I looked up the comps for the exact ones, and they were selling between $30 and $45 each. And I got 6 of them. Knowing that you can send your Cutco knives in to Cutco and they will sharpen them for free. I decided to do that with this set just to make them really pretty, and I think they put like the sleeve back on them, the little cardboard sleeve. I think they polished them up. This will be my first time sending them in, so I already have them in the box. They are real descriptive on their website when you go to order your labels. So pretty much you pay for them to get shipped out. These were little steak knives, so these are gonna go first class. So I think they're gonna cost me between probably $6 and $8 to ship. And then I pay for the return shipping label. They had prices on there per knife. And so for my 6 knives, it's gonna cost $11 to ship back to me. So that means I'm gonna have another like $17 or $18 into, on top of the $45 I paid for it. But these knives are gonna look so good when they come back, and I could put in my listing that they have been sharpened. I think people were calling them actually refurbished when they send them in and get them factory sharpened. So I'm excited about that, about how they're gonna look when they come back. So I'll show them to you. I have some before pictures, and I'll show you before and after of these. Have you ever seen Jim Beam whiskey bottles? These are from, I think they started them in the 60s. They kept making them through the 70s, 80s, 90s. They don't make them anymore. Oh, actually, I don't know if they made them in the 90s, but they made them look like anything but a bottle. And so I first sold my first item on eBay was actually a Jim Beam bottle. My mom had given me her late husband's Jim Beam collection. I think he had a couple thousand of them. I only took around 1,000 of them. Some of them aren't worth much at all, and some of them just aren't worth selling, and then some of them could be quite valuable. The one that always sticks out in my mind was the I Dream a Genie bottle. If you've ever watched I Dream a Genie, I think it was on the first episode, first season, when he's walking down the beach. He finds a bottle, the I Dream a Genie bottle, and that's when she comes out of the bottle. But it is actually a Jim Beam bottle that he found, so it was quite popular. And I think I sold that one close to $200. And they consistently sell between $100 and $200 depending on the condition. So none of my bottles had alcohol in them at all that I sold. Some other popular ones were Desert Race they have. I think it was from Nevada. They have a desert race every year, and people actually like to buy these Jim Beam bottles, these racing ones that they had. I'll show you a picture of one up here. People like to use them as trophies. Racing ones were kind of the fun ones to sell, I thought. And I had so many, I really can't remember. I think I ended up with the last little bunch, maybe over 100 of them still left that just weren't worth a lot to sell. So I grouped them all together, took photographs of them, and listed them for pickup only. I think I had a price of $300 or $400 on them, and they were listed for quite a few months. And then somebody finally reached out and said they are going to be driving through this way. They lived a few states over, and would I hold on to them if they paid for them? So I did. I held on to them for another couple months for them, and they finally did come and pick them up. Just filled the whole back of their SUV up and got rid of them all. So that was fun. And then I didn't sell on eBay for probably a couple years because I was working full-time. And then I slowly just started selling things from my house, and now I have almost 800 items listed. So I have definitely grown since then, and I was able to quit my job, so that made it a little bit easier for me to put more energy into eBay. Okay, and so here is another little bit different design. These with the ducks are called Ducks Unlimited. That was the theme. They had so many different themes. So this was Ducks Unlimited, and then here is another one. So cute. So these are completely different from the ones I was selling because these actually have the alcohol in them. I cannot sell them on eBay with alcohol. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do at this point with them. I think I saw for this second one, this one had a sold comp on it for $75 without the alcohol in it. So I'm just not sure what I'm gonna do about selling these. But I would hate to have to dump the alcohol out of them. Maybe I'll take you down and show you. So I picked up all of these vintage socks. I believe they're from the 70s or 80s. We also have some Reeboks and some vintage Levi's. So I found these Levi ones pretty similar. I mean, it had the exact same tag. They look like they were from the same year, and I think somebody put early 80s they were from. So on all of these socks I paid anywhere from $1 to $2. Some of them were marked at $1. These Levi ones, comps on them I think were around $40 each on those, so I'm really excited about those. These Reeboks are super cool. So these Reeboks, I think the comps on those, I couldn't really find any that looked exactly like these, but I think they're going to be about the same, around $40 each. I love the graphics on them. So cool. Very 80s. So these other socks here, these are all from Sears. And I believe these are from the 70s or 80s. I'm thinking more like the 80s, early 80s. So I did find a set that were almost identical, and they had them grouped together in threes, and they sold them, I believe it was $59.99. So it looks like these are all selling for about $20 each. And then this pair of wool socks, I could not find it all, although I think I sold one similar before like this. I'm assuming it's a wool blend. I'll probably get between $15 and $20 for that. I usually list them as like hunting or hiking, camping. I put in my listing, so you get all those people that are looking for, you know, warm socks for doing those activities. And then we have vintage briefs. So depending on what the brand is, they can do really well. All of these items here, I paid between $4 and $5 each for them. So I think these will probably sell between $20 and $25 a pack. So it's not going to be a huge profit, but they'll be easy to list because I just need to list one. Unless I decide to sell them in groups of 2. And they're a good size, they're 38. Sometimes the larger sizes do better. So yeah, I'll probably group them together in 2s. We'll have one extra one. I'll just sell that like that. Yeah, and I'll probably list them for maybe like $45 for for 2 packs. So I'll be happy with that. This brand, however, is Sears also, but it's their Golden Comfort. And so I think I saw a comp on these for $75. And then the same Gold Comfort in the t-shirts as well. And I don't even think I found a comp on that one. So I'll have to dig deeper on the comps. And then for the loom, the bag's a little messed up, but the contents are nice and white looking. They look good. So I paid $5 for each one of these, and I think they're only selling for $20, unfortunately. I thought these older ones sold better than that, but we'll see once I really look at some good comps on those. All right, next I have these fish pillows. They have little plastic eyes. It was the last day of the sale. They're $3 each, so I got them both for $3. And I'm going to, I think they're salmon. So I'm going to group them together and probably sell them for $20, maybe $25, hopefully. I did see other comps on them right about that price range. Okay, this perfume right here, I would say it's about 75% full, and I paid $5 for it, and I saw a sold comp for one that was about 90% full. It sold for $175. This one is 3.4 fluid ounces. There were some others that looked like this, but they were about half the size. I think they were only a little over 1 fluid ounce, maybe 1.5 fluid ounces. And it was listed as vintage, so I think they still make this, but this particular one is vintage, so I'm excited. I might do well on that one. I always love these old Reebok boxes. They just look so cool. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to do some research, but I think these could be from the 70s or 80s, but I could be wrong. They could be from the 90s. They've never been worn. So always be careful when you're purchasing what you think is brand new in box shoe, because they had another really cool high top Reebok there that had never been worn. But when you put your finger in the side, it just squished right in. Make sure it's not going to crack and peel or anything like that. These are in excellent condition. Yeah, they must have purchased them and decided not to wear them. So I did pay $16 for these, and hopefully I'll get $60 to $70. vintage Pantyhose. These are not super desirable ones, but I've sold all of these brands before. This one is around the clock. These others, most of what I have are called Kinney. There used to be a shoe store called Kinney Shoes, as I remember. I am going to group all these together since I think they're all larges and sell them like that. I paid 25 cents a piece for these, so I have $2.75 into these, and they'll probably sell for maybe $30. I purchased this pan. I'm trying to buy more pots and pans because I know they can do really well, especially if they're made in the USA. This one is a New Dimensions. It was sold by Sears and Roebuck. It needs some cleaning, but this will come out really nice. And then the last few things I have are, one of them is this blanket here. It is wool. Has a few black stripes that go on both ends of it, kind of toward the end. So here's the bottom, so it's kind of close. If anybody knows what type of blanket this is, there's no tag on it. Was it like a army type blanket? It's kind of weird that it would be red, but maybe not totally impossible. So it's definitely that nice thick wool. It has that black thread on the edges. So if anybody knows, let me know. And then I love this. It is new in box, and I think this is probably from the 80s. It is a Regal Cuisinart type of thing, La Machine. And so this has never been used. It's never been taken out of the box. I bought it for $15, and I saw a sold comp. I think it was $80. But one of their pieces, let's see, I'll show you. This piece right here on theirs was actually cracked. It got cracked up the side. So mine is in perfect condition. Everything is here. Has all the paperwork to it and everything. I'm hoping I'll get at least $100 for it. And then this right here, stud welder dent repair kit. I opened this up just to make sure that it is brand new, and it is. It's never been taken out. You can tell because the cord is all, you know, factory coiled together. I definitely paid up for this. I paid $65 for it, but there was a sold comp for $200. So I'm hoping to get $200 for it. That is it for today. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe down below and hit the like button.